Let's do it. To it. Fractions, that is. Okay, so this is MVL versus Paravyan. And this was the Armageddon game. Now, something happened you don't necessarily know about, which I'll tell you now. We were analyzing the game before MVL was on the stream. We were like getting him on the stream. Thanks for the 1,000 centidues. And when we were analyzing the game like quickly before MVL came, I was like, D takes E4. What kind of move is that? Ridiculous. Okay. In this position, Danny said, he's looking stuff up. He says, knight H6 is theory, and black is okay because, bishop G4 and queen D5 and knight F5. So anyway, he played knight F6, and we were like talking to each other, but MVL could hear us because he was, he was getting his mic, he's getting mic'd up. And Danny was like, oh, knight H6 is better than knight H6 is better than knight F6. And MVL said, oh, thanks, I don't know. Okay. Then when he was on the stream and we were analyzing the game, Danny said, hey, were you kidding when you said knight F6, isn't... And he said, of course I know knight H6. He started laughing. He was just joking. He was like insulted that we didn't think he knew that this was theory and this is the right move. This is like still part of his preparation. So, I still rather have white, but, if after like knight C5, you play queen D5, you pin the knight, you go here. In the game, black just had nothing because the bishop's blocked, so white just gets in D4 right away, and black doesn't have enough compensation. And it's just white's a pawn up. There's no compensation here. Okay, so he gave up another pawn with C5. So he took it. All right. Now white's up 2 pawns. And then here he had really good technique. He played bishop E3, suggested by Anand. And here Anand thought bishop D4. But then after he played queen F2, he thought that was better. The engine doesn't agree. The engine says bishop here, a pawn here. But we all like this move because we want to play here and keep the queens on so we can get at black's king. So white's still winning here, but maybe less so. I don't know. Okay, now in this position, black made a very bad move. And, okay, if Anand wasn't on, I would have been trash talking a lot. But, I don't want to bother Anand when he's being nice to come on the show. Now, if Anand's at my house, then I'm going to bother Anand. And then some. Thanks, Toady13. Black played a very bad move here. Very bad. And you know what it is, because you watch my stream. Played F6. Frankly, terrible. Now, F6 is the obvious move, because if black doesn't play F6, E5, then white's just going to win. White's got 4-1 on the queen side, and here they come. B4 and, B5 wins. So, but if black plays this, then black's got something. Unfortunately, after this, MVL found a brilliant move. And it's a blitz game, so that's sort of surprising. And the reason it's brilliant is the queen defends this, and the queen and rook are lined up for a skewer, so C6 works. If you take with the bishop, bishop B6 wins the exchange. And if you take with the queen, which is what happened, then you take this. And in this position, black blundered. Black's losing, but he made a move that loses instantly. Instead of like losing in 30 moves, he lost in like 2 moves. And that's because he didn't see what white's threat was. It looks like white's going to double up on the bubble up, which obviously is good. But there's a bigger threat. And the only move here is rook F8. There's no other move. That defends the F pawn. But he played here, and you will know MVL's name is Mon Dieu when you see this move. God damn. Yeah, and then, come on. You kidding me? Now, of course, Paravyan, who plays on chess.com and Title Tuesday and Arena Kings all the time, he doesn't know my rules. I don't even want to stream anymore. I'm so mad. How could he not know my rules? First rule, never play F6. Second rule, always sack the exchange. Now, come on. If he knew those rules, this stuff wouldn't happen. And now the engine says plus 9 because, it's pretty good. Okay, so resigns is the correct move. He played here. And MVL said it correctly. He said, well, every move wins, so I wanted to win the cleanest. So only one legal move. Check. I guess you can play here, but only one legal move makes any sense. Check. Now, queen e4 is obviously absurd. King here, queen check is obviously absurd. King d7 is insane because I take the rook with check, you take, and then I skewer your king and queen. King d6 gets checkmated immediately by that, and you can't defend your rook. So the only move is king d5. There is no other move. And when MVL played queen h8 check, he analyzed this, and he saw this was winning because if you take the queen, I take your queen, and I'm up a piece. And if you take the rook, black's threatening queen e1 checkmate, but MVL had foreseen queen takes 8 as check. And now, in a very insulting and embarrassing time in David's life, the person with black, he played here. I've never been so mad. King c4, he's playing a 27-70, and he plays king c4 instead of resigning. What? Are you kidding me? All right, and then he played here and he resigned, but not bad what he played. I've never been so angry. That was a textbook game from MVL. He outplayed him in the opening. He outplayed him tactically. He had a couple of nice shots. And I showed this game to Filter, and they actually sent a tweet to MVL's account when they saw, c6 and rook takes b7, and they said, hey, man, nice shot. And then MVL said, quoi? And so forth. No, actually, I was really busy today. After the stream, I had to go home and take care of the dogs. My one dog had surgery. He had to go out and be fed. You have to feed him by hand because he's got the coat around his neck. Then when I did that, I had to get my son, Spencer, and take him to the car dealer. And we were there for 3 hours test driving and signing and submitting and all that stuff. And now he has a car. And then after that, we went to eat at Thai place. Me and Spencer celebrate his car. And then I came here. I prepared the stream. I got a Perrier and a coffee, and then I'm here. Isn't that a song by Alice in Chains? No, Filter. Filter.